Welcome to another edition of Wake Up America, Wake Up. Today's podcast will focus on the Volodymyr Zelensky visit to the United States. I'm talking about the president of Ukraine coming to the United States to address the president, Joe Biden, and the Congress to beg for more freaking money. Apparently, this narcissistic sociopath feels that the threat from Putin and the Russian Federation is more important than the threat that we face on our northern and southern borders here in the United States. Secure. So President Zelensky arrived in the United States to have talks in Washington with the current president of the United States, Joe Biden, and the current Congress. And his reasoning is that if we don't support him, then we're on the brink of World War III. Now, if ever there was any fear-mongering from a foreign president or leader, the first thing that comes to mind is horseshit. This is a country, a nation that has built its authoritarian power through corruption. And then they have the audacity, or rather this narcissistic sociopath in Volodymyr Zelensky has the audacity to come to the United States to beg the president for money, to convince Congress for more money. And why? So that we can have him and his cronies live lavishly while his country is in war, while the people are suffering? That's right, folks, because we can't even account for the money that was sent to this country. We can't account for it. That's corruption. And they want more money? It's because we're so naive. Well, we the people are not naive, but our government is naive. And possibly that might be an understatement, because I think, corruption swings both ways. The tax dollars that are being used to support this Ukrainian-Russian effort is basically greasing the palms of politicians who are in support of it, greasing the palms of the military-industrial complex that benefits from the misery of war in foreign lands. That's right, folks. The military-industrial complex does benefit when there's war. That's how they make money. Their business is to make weapons. And weapons are made to be used. And because the Ukrainian government is so corrupt and easily persuaded to instigate this war as part of a NATO encroachment into the Russian Federation, of course they were more than eager to do it, because they're going to be able to pocket crisp, clean US dollars from we the people, the taxpayers. Because this war is nothing but a ruse to engage with the Russian Federation, with Putin, to see who's got the biggest dick in the block. And folks, we need to stop this. There should be no funding for any foreign border incursions other than our own. The United States to date has given the Ukrainian government over in tax-funded support, while our southern and northern borders have received very little attention, very little concern. Our government is more concerned with the Ukrainian border than it is with the United States border. And we are under a perpetual invasion on a daily basis in which 5,000 illegal aliens are crossing the border, not only in Texas, but now in Arizona as well. I don't get this fascination with our government to support the war efforts of the Ukraine-Russian conflict, other than there's a profit to be made. But it doesn't serve any purpose for we the people, because we're the ones that are doling out those dollars to support a corrupt government that exists in Ukraine. And we've done this for years. So like I said, President Zelensky comes to the United States in hopes that we're going to give him money. And we have a president who has been implicated in influence peddling as the vice president of the United States with Ukraine.
It's just a bunch of lies.
So, of course, he's going to be very eager to support the Ukrainian-Russian war effort.
It's just a bunch of lies.
But what do I know? I mean, we live in a world now where right is wrong and wrong is right. But what I will tell you is that we should not support any more funding to Ukraine. If Ukraine is so important for NATO, then let all the other NATO allies start forking over money. We need to take care of our borders here in the United States. President Zelensky, this narcissistic sociopath, had even had the audacity to say this.
The U.S. will have to send their sons and daughters exactly the same way as we are sending their sons and daughters to war, and they will have to fight, because it's NATO that we're talking about, and they will be dying. I don't think so, folks.
I don't think our men and women in our armed forces are obligated to fight someone else's war. We have been the world's police for far too long. It is time for America to come first. Ukraine needs to take their tin cup and go beg somebody else. The bank is closed in the United States. So far, Congress has elected not to give him any additional support. I don't know how long that's going to last, but it needs to stay that way. This man needs to, put on his big boy pants.
Big boy pants. Jeff, put on big boy
and start
pants.
doing the right thing for his
pants.
country. All the money that has been sent by the taxpayers in the United States needs to be found and put into use. If you want to defend your nation, if you want to defend the people, your citizens, find that money that was sent to you before. Get a refund for all those lavish cars and luxury homes that were purchased on the taxpayer dollars of the United States. And start defending yourself and your border and secure the welfare of your people. Because I don't think it's the United States obligation where we're facing our own invasion of our borders. It might not be in the form of weapons being utilized, but there are drugs that are coming into this country which will hurt the citizens of the United States. And there are terrorists, those gotaways that our DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas refuses to acknowledge. So, folks, the Ukraine-Russia conflict, we should stay out of it when it comes to supporting them. If they want support, let's give them moral support. Hey, have at it. Good luck. But to obligate our U.S. men and women in our armed forces to partake in that war, that's unnecessary. We shouldn't be involved. And those politicians in our government that were involved in the instigating of this war between Ukraine and Russia should be prosecuted, because proxy wars shouldn't be what the United States is about. And I get it, the money that comes in to the military-industrial complex that politicians lick their lips hoping that they can get a piece of. Hey, I get it. I understand the temptation, but not at the expense of the lives of the United States citizens. No, not on my watch. I'm out, folks. Thanks for your time.